Baby's gonna change everything.
I'll teach the baby art and Chris will change the diapers. You're giving me poop?
Lee would be such a good mom.
So would you.
Doesn't matter if it's Lee or me, because we don't have the money.
His visa runs out in a few months and he doesn't want to go back to Korea.
My grandmother doesn't know I'm gay.
You come out, they cut you off.
I have a proposal. You marry me, and I'll pay for Liz to grow a baby.
What?
Me?
My daughter marrying a man.
It's for the cause. We're helping a gay couple stay together.
Delete all of it?
All of it. Every Pride Parade photo, every National Coming Out Day post.
Can I still post Instagram stories?
Do you want grandchildren?
I'll delete Instagram now.
Dan's grandmother flew in from Korea to meet her future granddaughter-in-law.
What are we supposed to do exactly?
We gotta de-queer the house. You.
What?
You look gay.
When I see something,
Honey, I'm home.
and when I try to help,
Have you picked the wedding date?
We don't want a ceremony.
No ceremony?
Good to see you. How was your UK premiere last night? Aren't we a nice crowd?
It was a lovely crowd, a lovely audience. You know, the BFI Flair audience. I think they were excited to kick off the festival, and it was such a lovely international premiere for us. Most of the cast was here. We had a great time. It was really well received, and I'm very thankful.
Did they get all the American nuances?
I think so. I think there's a lot that translates, regardless of what culture you're in. I think it's a story about family, and I think that maybe not all the jokes are gonna work for every audience. But I thought the London audience really, they really understood the film, and I'm very grateful.
We're very intelligent. I have to tell you, I was slightly apprehensive when I first heard the news you were going to make this. You did it superbly, and it was so different. Would you mind, I know you've done this several times, just for the people who have not seen it in my audience around the world, just tell us briefly in your words what it's about without giving it away?
Sure, yeah. So The Wedding Banquet is a film about four friends, two couples, and one couple is wrestling with the idea of getting married, and the other couple is wrestling with the idea of having children. And it's about how they fight each other, but also fight for each other. It's a story about family.
What gave you the idea of taking James Seamus on board?
Yeah, James was really, part of the origin story of this version of The Wedding Banquet. Obviously, he was a co-writer and a producer on Ang Lee's The Wedding Banquet. He and I had worked together alongside our other producer, Joe Piro, on my second feature, Driveways. And it was through that collaboration that he thought of me when our other producer, Anita Guo, had approached him, to ask about, remaking The Wedding Banquet. And James felt that, I might be an interesting filmmaker to talk to. And so James and Joe matched me and Anita up, and we had a conversation, back in 2019. And, I was really hesitant to touch the original because I loved the original film so much. But working with this team and, drawing a lot of personal inspiration to modernize this story, I think really gave me the confidence that we could make it our own.
When it came off, did you add any personal pieces in the film, personal pieces of your story?
Oh, for sure. There's a scene in the film where, Angela and Lee, Angela played by Kelly Marie Tran and Lee played by Lily Gladstone, are kind of arguing about having children. And Angela says, well, if it happens, it happens. and that's a line verbatim from my boyfriend. We had a conversation very early on in our dating, where we talked about children, and he said, if it happens, it happens. And I had to say, no, not for gay people, and it was that argument,
Oh yeah.
that I realized that, you know, gay people, we can't
Yeah.
whoopsie daisy a baby into existence, and so we have to be incredibly intentional. And so any sort of hesitation becomes a big obstacle. And so that was a feeling that I wanted to um, explore in this film.
So Bowen's character, reluctant to marry, that's not you as well, is it?
I think that's my boyfriend.
But I have to say on that point, I love seeing Bowen in all your movies. This is the first time he was slightly more serious.
Yeah, yeah. I think Bowen is an incredible actor. He's so
Absolutely.
vulnerable, and he puts so much of himself into the roles. And I think it's something that he doesn't necessarily get to show on, SNL
Yeah.
or in Wicked. And so I was just so happy to work with him again, and yeah, to explore this kind of millennial indecision that so
Mhm.
many of me and my friends feel, like now that we have the choice of things, now
Mhm.
that we can choose to get married, like, do we actually want to? Like, is that actually something we can take the responsibility of? And what if
Yeah.
we what if we do and then it ruins what we have? I think that that's something that's very relatable, and I
Yeah.
think Owen pulls off so beautifully.
Yeah, we may not have the choice much longer in this country, anyway. I think the intergenerational part works so well because you're superb casting. I love Joan Chen, of course. I'd never heard of the other lady who I found out this morning she was an Oscar winner.
Yeah, yeah, for the film Minari, Yoon Yo-jung.
But they work with such great combination. And I don't know how to say this without being rude, but it's so good to see more queer films with more established actors and actresses. It adds weight to both the film and I think also to their career path too.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm so thankful that Joan and Yoon
yeah,
Yo-jung wanted to be a part of this, because it really feels like, they're blessing queer storytellers. They're,
yeah.
you know, kind of adding to, the careers of these young actors,
Mhm.
that we're part of a history and a legacy of storytellers that
Yeah.
I'm so honored that they kind of deigned us with their presence.
They were a superb part of your cast. You've established a niche now for having a good sense of humor in your own comms. And what I like about it is there's a message to your film, but you never bang us over the head with it. Is this is obviously deliberately, and is this the path you're going to follow? We're going to see more rom-coms from you?
I would love to. I think
Mm.
rom-coms are an incredible genre
Yeah.
that is actually very kind of inclusive of so many different ideas and characters, tones, themes. You know, um, it's an incredibly difficult genre. I think that blending of,
Mhm.
romance and heart and comedy, it's both a craft, but also kind of an alchemy, a magic. Um, but I think that that's what keeps me engaged with it.
Yeah.
I'd love to, you know, continue to explore in my career. And I think about filmmakers like Ang Lee and Todd Haynes who
Mhm.
get to work in
Mhm.
different genres. And I'd love to explore, other ways of making film. But, I think rom-coms will always be, they'll always carry a special place in my heart.
And mine too. I mean, I sit for a lot of serious films, and I need work like yours. Um, do, do you know what's next? Can we ask?
That's a very good question. I think I'm taking this moment to really get this movie out there in a way that I'm championing. I I have a few ideas for things that I want to do next. Nothing that's concrete yet, but definitely continuing to want to tell queer and Asian American stories.
Good, good, good. I'm glad they gave you the honor of being the opening night gala. You deserved it. And I'm glad you get to experience English audience. Last thing, will I see you at Provincetown this year?
I can't go. I wish I could. But have a great time without me. It's
Oh,
something.
like, how can we do that?
I, you'll have a great.
I think I've interviewed you there for the last 3 of your films. So I'll miss you. Thank you for talking to me today. Enjoy the rest of your time there. Keep warm.
I will. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah. Bye,
Good to
Andrew.
chat with you. Bye.
Proposal. You marry me, and I'll pay for Liz to grow a baby.
What?
Me? My daughter marrying a man.
It's for the cause. We're helping a gay couple stay together.
Delete all of them?
All of it. Every pride parade photo, every national coming out day post.
Can I still post Instagram stories?
Do you want grandchildren?
I'll delete Instagram now.
Dan's grandmother flew in from Korea to meet her future granddaughter-in-law.
What are we supposed to do exactly?
We gotta de-queer the house. You.
What?
You look gay.
When I see something,
Honey, I'm home.
and when I try to help.
Have you speak